So, we are going into game number 1 of SK Telecom T1 versus somebody. Teammate, who is on a tear. They are on an 8-match win streak, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, 8 matches in a row. But number 9, they're facing the formidable players of SK Telecom T1 with such greats as Bisu and Fantasy. Fantasy, of course, recently made it to the OSL finals, but he was defeated by Jangmi. And Bisu, of course, recently went 0-6 in StarCraft 2 games, where he cried, I believe, after losing the last one. I'm actually being like unduly mean now to Bisu. I feel bad. Bisu, I'm sorry. You know, part of the psychology study test thing that I went to yesterday was like the first part you have to take an empathy test kind of thing. So there's like 50 questions about, you know, how good of a person are you or something. And as I was filling it in, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, I'm like a really bad person, you know? It was like, you know, if your friend is feeling sad, do you comfort them? Or it's like, it was like strongly agree, like strongly disagree type thing. So it's like, your friend has had a really bad day. You would, you know, go and comfort them or something. And it's like strongly agree, strongly disagree, and I'm like, no, well actually I never come across this problem because I don't have any friends. But you know, if I did, I probably wouldn't be empathic. So I had to strongly disagree there. By the way, there was a fucking weird question on that empathy thing. Okay, one of the questions was something like, as a child, you cut up worms just to see what would happen. And it was like strongly agree or disagree or whatever. And I was like, what? Wait, I did it to lizards instead of worms. Does that count? So then, so I wasn't really sure how to answer the question. So I was like, I didn't actually do it I didn't do it to worms. I did it to like other shit. Actually, that's a lie. I never cut shit up. I'm like really squeamish. Anyway. No, what I did do though. Okay, so I never actually cut shit up because I just like I hate like blood and guts and shit. But what was awesome though, like this thing that my dad taught me, because like my parents, like they grew up in China, and you know, however many years ago, and they weren't exactly very wealthy. So my dad had to just kind of like walk around on the street and figure out what to do to entertain himself. And one thing he did was, if you can catch crickets, right? So you catch 2 crickets and you put them in a glass jar, okay? And then you put a little bit of just rice. You put some grains of rice in the jar to feed them, but then you like put a little bit of chili as well. So you put like really hot chili in there, so they'll be like eating the rice, and then they eat the chili, and then just like it's super spicy, so they just get really pissed off, and then they just start attacking each other. So you can just have like cricket cage fights by just feeding them chili. It's actually awesome. And by that I mean, I hope I'm not like gonna get arrested or some shit. Yeah. But I once found like this massive cricket, and like and then that guy just was like ripping the legs off other crickets and shit. That was intense, man. I literally just watched him fight, and this giant cricket just like grabs the other guy's leg, and he's like tearing it off, and the other guy's like, oh my god, it was brutal, man. It was brutal. Now you know why I've grown up to be such a well-adjusted individual, right? I mean, this is why. So I had such a wonderful childhood. Anyway.
김태경 선수가 오늘은 스타2에 출격하는 이런 순서죠. 그렇기 때문에 이제 김태경 선수가 스타2에서 또 얼마나 또 발전된 모습을 보여주게 될까? 이것도 좀 기대가 됩니다.
오늘 드디어 첫 승 할 수 있을까?
그렇죠. 그리고 이제 다음 경기는 또 이제 스타1에 나와야 되기 때문에 이제 김태경 선수가 이번
X-Pac, that is a very creepy story.
경기 안 남을 수도 있거든요.
맞아요.
네, 그래서 과연 이제 김태경 선수가 준비를 얼마나 해서 그것을 지난주에도 제가 이제 사석에서 얘기를 들어보니까 그 연습 때는 준비가 정말 잘 되어 있었고 자신도 있었는데 방송 무대에서의 감각이 조금 아쉬웠다, 좀 이런 얘기 들었었거든요. 네, 그만큼 이제 김태경 선수가 부담감을 떨쳐낸 그런 경기 기대 한번 해보겠습니다.
그렇습니다. 오늘도 이제 박용 감독과 잠깐 이야기를 하면서 김태경 선수의
Do.
분위기 이런 것들을 물어봤는데
Please publish my music playlist. I can give you the Spotify
부담감도
link.
좀 많이 덜었고,
Also, it looks like something's wrong with Movie's computer, so
느끼고 있어서
just gonna chill here. Is it just me, or does Movie have an abnormal number of computer malfunctions? Like almost as many as Flash. Except that he's like not even as good as Flash, so like, you know, if it's Flash has a computer malfunction, that's alright, we'll just chill. Just wait for him to fix it. But for Movie, I'm just like, get on with it, Movie.
첫 번째 세트 하겠습니다.
Anyway. So, going into set number 1. At the top left as the red Zerg. Sorry, I didn't put the races in my overlay for some stupid reason. It's going to be a ZVP. As the red Zerg we will have Sacsri. And at the bottom left as the orange Protoss we will have Movie. If I mistakenly call Sacsri Sacsri, you'll have to forgive me, because that's how I pronounced it in my head for a long time. And then, basically, like, I saw him play his first game, first game like this season or something. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't say Sacsri, that says Sacsri. Sacsri sounds better to me though. Oh sure, it's kind of an awkward name, either way. Sacsri. Sacsri. Sexy. So, looks like the Overlord's heading towards the middle of the map now. He's doing the thing where you check for, or you look for a scouting probe that's incoming towards your base, and you see which direction it comes from, and then you know where your opponent is. And if you don't see anything, then you just pick a random direction and you just go somewhere. And it looks like Movie is in fact scouting horizontally rather than vertically, which is curious because in the last series we saw PvZ on this map as well, and the Protoss scouted vertically, I believe, rather than horizontally. So I'm like curious about the decisions, the scouting patterns here. Usually when I ladder I just pick a random direction, but presumably pro gamers have at least a little bit of thought put into their scouting patterns. Anyway, Sacsri, by the way, is an interesting choice. You know, as I said, I hadn't really even casted a game of his until this season, I think. Maybe one game last season, I'm not really sure, but essentially he's kind of like one of the second string SKT players, which isn't even like that much of an insult considering how awesome the first string SKT players are. But still, you know, he doesn't really get much airtime, and he's just one of these players, I think, that's been practicing a lot more StarCraft 2, so they try to get him in a little bit more into the matches. And also SKT does kind of lack in Zerg players, so he doesn't have too much competition. There's like Sue, and that's it. There's like Sue and Sacsri, man. And Hyuk. Yeah, Hyuk fighting. Woo! Caucasian Asian. That's the second time I've said that that was CA, and I'm still not actually sure that it's him. But it definitely looks like him. Anyway. So, then again, I don't know, man. Like my facial recognition abilities are pretty terrible. Like I can never tell Snow and Flying apart, or is it Shy and Flying? See, I don't even remember. Shy, Snow, and Flying are all like the same person to me. Basically, like all Asian guys look the same, and all white guys look pretty similar as well. I'm pretty sure I could like identify two different probes better than I could identify two different people, or like two different zealots. I've probably stared at more zealot faces than I have human faces. So, what are you gonna do?
분명 이런 분위기를 끊어주면서 SK텔레콤 T1의 무서움을 보여줘야 됩니다.
맞습니다.
Anyway.
저그라인의 약간의 아쉬움을 좀 느낄 수밖에 없었던 SK텔레콤 T1이기 때문에 이혜훈 선수가 그 자리를 부분을 좀 채워줄 수 있을지도 지켜보죠.
Standard wall off at the front. It's a little bit tricky on this map. There's a couple of gaps in the wall. It's a very wide choke here. So he's gonna have to block. So like between the pylon and the forge, it's not tight, and above the gateway, obviously it's not tight. It is tight between the gateway and the forge, and I believe the pylon and the cliff. You do have to be careful though when you're making walls with pylons attached to cliffs. Sometimes they're tight, sometimes they're not, and it's kind of hard to tell. You just have to be able. You just have to do it from practice. Is he gonna kill the drone? What the fuck? He didn't even pull that drone. Oh my god, Sacsri, was he just like AFK or something? Was he like cleaning his glasses? He's not even wearing glasses. Sacsri, what were you looking at? How did it even happen? He like didn't even try to save the probe. It wasn't like he pulled the drone and the probe like chased it down and killed it in epic fashion. He just sat there just mining gas until he died. That's really bad. Anyway, third base has not been taken at the top right now. And the probe's gonna meander over there and see it. Maybe kill even another drone. That'd be quite epic. The funny thing is like if this was a ladder game, Sacsri would just like, you know, get super mad and just like laying all in him or something. But well, we'll see what he does here. I mean, if it was turn playing, that's probably what happened anyway. You know, because when you man a pylon turn, he just, you know, builds M&M and kills you. But no, we do have a Spire on the way. 3 hatch into Spire into, what is he going to do later? Into 6 hatch? Is it Harem's 6 hatch? I have to be careful what I say now. Harem's listening. Harem, tell me what build it is and I can sound smart. Anyway, everything is standard in the Protoss space. Going for Pulse 1 Corsairs, getting his Templar tech up. Pulse 1 Corsairs is pretty much the universal build nowadays. I've almost never seen a Protoss not go Pulse 1 Corsairs now in this matchup. Unless they're doing some kind of weird one-base strategy or something like that. And even then, they often transition into it. So the first horse is going to fly around, is going to see the extra hatchery placed there at the natural. Fourth hatchery, just sitting a little bit. There's a fifth hatchery at the third as well. So going up to 5 hatches. And it looks like second Corsair is going to go looking for overlords as well. This wall at the front is complete with those Zels. So notice that he only got 1 cannon. Even though there are actually, it looks like 6 or 8 Zerglings at the front, he only got 1 cannon because he has those 3 Zels already. So he knows he's safe against a good number of Zerglings here with this wall, with only 1 cannon behind. So just going to save a little bit of money there. Nice little optimization. And we are actually going to see the fast 4th base here, the 6th hatchery from a Zerg player. Possibly going into should actually have some Scourge actually. By now, I think 2 Scourge are coming down right now. Yep, and nope, maybe not. I was looking on the minimap. I thought 2 Scourge were coming down, but it looks like they were just Lings or something. Anyway, DD's making its way out, and there's no Overlord at the natural. Oh my god, there's no Overlord! Oh no! Oh no! DDT's on top! And my ghosts, they call the shots. And, no, the Overlords don't see it. Oh, there's no Overlord in the main. Why did he pull both Overlords? He should have left 1 Overlord in the main. Okay, no, he's made another Overlord there. Okay, whew. And DT. Oh, it stays alive. Very nice. So, now that Sacsri has avoided disaster, he's on 4 bases, and that kind of puts the burden on the Protoss to make something happen here. If the Protoss just sits back and lets the Zerg eco up on his 4 bases, then he will be in big trouble.
네, 이것을 커세어로 잡아내게 되면 안 보여요. 네, 공이 없겠고요.
So, looks like DD has been taken not quite down. Can he get it before the DD dies? No! The DD lives! The DD lives with 4 HP, what the hell? Oh my god, Sacsri's gotta be so mad. I can just hear the Zerg players everywhere just crying out in agony, just like, Protoss! This is just universal scream, just a hive mind of Zerg just in one voice. Protoss! And that's actually a huge mistake to have whilst at DT. Actually, he could have killed all the overlords there and gone in again, but oh man, that is painful. And oh, now we have a Zella Archon attack going in the front. I don't think that's gonna break it though. That's a strong Sim City with 2 Sunkens behind. I really don't think that's gonna work, but it is gonna give him time to. Oh, sick block! Sick evolution chamber block. Unfortunately, he didn't put it down very quickly, so one of them just gets insta-shotted, or insta-killed rather. But nice target firing by the Sunkens on the Archon. It's going to make the Zerglings more effective. But that's still a lot of Zealots moving in here, and oh man, Sacsri just getting ripped apart here by the aggression of Movie. Sacsri is in big trouble. More Zealots are flooding in here. The Sunken is trying to do what it can, but Sunkens are really not amazing against Zealots. They do have a damage reduction because I think they do explosive damage, but the Sunken is under attack. He's trying to stack with the drones. More Zerglings are being morphed here. Movie looking very, very calm as this attack goes on, but it looks like it will get stopped. Vazel's trying to run into the main base, but will get stopped by a nice little block there. Oh, no, looks like one guy does make it in, but there's plenty of Zerglings now. And Sacsri does survive, but he's down to 42 supply against a 77 supply of the Perdos. The third base of the Perdos has been established. He's getting his Archons now morphing at the front, and it doesn't look like Sacsri actually spotted this base here. Wow, that's not very good for him. So there's, oh, he's going to spot the probe transfer though. Yeah, he's going to see the probe transfer, but there's nothing too much he can do about it. Yeah, there he's going to see it now. And this is really, really bad. And this is exactly what Movie needs as well. I mean, the Perdos kind of has to do some kind of attack like this. It doesn't normally do this much damage, but you do need to put on either a bit of pressure or maybe just go for a faster third when you see that 3D 4th hatchery from the Zerg. Couple more Sunkens going down at natural now, just to keep himself alive against the Zella Archon moving in. Obviously, Zerglings really not the most cost-efficient unit against Zella Archon. And notice how every time when the Zella Archon comes in, he targets the Archons with the Sunkens. As I said before, Zealots take reduced damage from the Sunkens, so it's always better to target the Archons. Of course, also because the Archons just tear everything apart as well. But this looks like it could just be the end for Sacsri. He doesn't have enough. He's just started his hyper production now, but he's losing everything. The drones actually killed the Archon there. I hope the observer clicks the drone that actually got the kill there. That's pretty impressive. But look at this, Sacsri is just falling to pieces here in this game. Team 8 is looking pretty happy there. C is grinning. Hero is grinning. It's by Hero, by the way. And that is that. Zella Archon for the win, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's up. Movie's just gonna go and kill him. Sacsri's just gonna try and hold on. But he is dead. Make no mistake. If he wins this game, this will be the most legendary comeback since like Quark versus Mondragon or some shit. I don't even know. Anyway, you lose all your Hydras. Oh, see, even the stream doesn't want to continue anymore. It's like, dude, leave the game. Out the game, Sacsri, out the game. Out the game. And well, all I can say is he's on the same team as Fantasy, and he has learned well. GG! Movie takes game number 1. Alright. And Team 8 getting a good start here, on their way to their 9th Series 1 in a row. 5, Movie.